Hey, it's Allie and welcome to day 20 at December Daily for 2017. Today I am going to include a photo, or my story. I want it to be something about my photo of Anna with Santa. Anna's the only kid this year that cared about going and seeing Santa. So we got a couple of photos for her, and she had a very sweet wish when he asked her what she wanted for Christmas. She said she just wanted to have a happy Christmas. And you know, it was great, and it's very, very her, and it was good. Anyway, so what I'm looking at here, yesterday when I kind of flipped through in the album, I was saying, or I was referencing the fact that I have, you know, some pages that are pre-made, which is basically going to be like, here's 21, and this one will probably end up being 22, 23, 20, you know, 23, maybe this one, or maybe 24, and then I have, you know, just some space for Christmas Day. So it's almost, you know, it's coming to a close in one way or another. And so what I'm thinking about for this one, I have the back of day 19, which was just a super simple one. And I'm thinking about using some of the journal cards, something like this, something like this. I don't know quite yet exactly what, but I'm also thinking I have a transparency. This is the really light green one that has text on it. It's pretty hard to see. I'm considering taking this heart and cutting it out and cutting out around the heart shape and adhering that onto here, like that. And so if I do that, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll either use one of the smaller Santa photos. I have some smaller ones here that could fit a little bit better in the 3x4, and then just have this heart cut out, and then the next day heart cut out onto and adhered onto the transparency, and then the next day would be this page here with some kind of a photo, again, cut out into that heart shape on the other side. That's kind of what I am thinking about as I get started here. I also thought about that the heart, something about making the heart like this photo here, I don't know, it's a little bit too small, you know, this part into a heart as well in one way or another. Maybe this heart could lift up and this photo would be underneath it. I could consider something like that where it would need to fold up in one way or another. I don't know. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I think I am going to start by cutting this heart out and figuring and just playing around with that first, of what that looks like on here, and then how do I want to incorporate the photo as well. So for cutting this out, so this was one that I did in the product play workshop. It's a bunch of different embossed and stamped circles from the from one of the stamp sets this year for December Daily, and gathered together and adhered on top of each other in the shape of a heart. And I love how this turned out. Like, I think it's great. It's a great texture. I love the overlapping, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of thinking, like, what if I just cut this into a heart? And I'm just kind of following the shape that I had originally done with the heart there as well. And as with everything else, you know, definitely does not have to be perfect. Let's see, you gotta get in there though to be able to get around here. Trying to keep those lines as smooth as possible. Okay, so something like that, which I think still looks good. I love, as always, anything that I can have a see-through quality there too. I could, if I really wanted to, go in and you know, have it just be the heart itself without the background, but I don't think, I think I want to have the background on there. And the other thing that I want to do too is that I want to cut a heart using this same shape, cut out another heart, so that tomorrow when this page gets turned, if I want to have another picture here on the back, I can, or something else. So I'm going to get just a piece of cardstock or scratch paper. I'm just going to use a piece of white cardstock here to cut this heart out so that I could have it as a template for tomorrow, so that I can adhere something to the back of this heart as well. So we'll cut that out, and then I will decide how I want to incorporate this photo, these Santa photos of Anna. Simon was there with me. We went after we went to see the movie Wonder the other day, and he was just like, no, he was not having any bit of it. And I know the McKercher kids are gone, but in the past they have not cared either. It's not been a part of what they wanted to do necessarily, and I totally get it. So that's fine. I think that it's one of the things that I like about these albums, you know, when you look at all of my December daily albums as a total, or you know, as a whole package of all of them together, that's part of the story that it tells, right? Is the getting older of the kids and what that means, you know, for lots of different things too, right? You know, what that means for them as they're getting older, and what things are important to them, or what do they still care about as well. So, okay, so I think I'm gonna do that. I think that I want to add a date on here, and it's just kind of deciding where do I want to put this. I'm interested a little bit in a flip up, but I think it's not going to work because of the size here. So let me think for a minute, and then I will hop back on here. All right, so I pulled a couple things out here from my stash of stuff. One is, those of you who are Story Kit subscribers had the option of purchasing some add-on products this month that had these red and white and green plastic hearts. And I'm thinking about incorporating them into this story here today. I love how they turned out. I think that they are fun, and they're part of the things that were available in the For the Love. They were an optional add-on, and we do still have, I believe, I know that there are For the Love kits still available, and if you join, you can have access to any of the add-ons available as well, so I'll double check that in a minute. I went ahead and cut down one of the Santa photos, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna add this part here. I don't like the way that her feet or her legs were cut off, so I'm considering adding on part of this circle, one of these from the main kit there, that would just be right along there. I think I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna adhere that on there. I also pulled out, I love looking back in my old stash, and one of the things that I found today were these old metal fabric tags, I guess, so metal rim tags that have canvas on the inside of them. I think Making Memories made these a million years ago. But I'm thinking of just adding this in here, like right here, as my 20. I kind of like just having another little tag thing added in. That's what I'm thinking about right now. At least that's what I set out to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this onto the photo, trying to get it at least kind of in the middle here, and then I'm going to trim off the extras around the edge. I want it to be, I'm looking at it in the light so I can kind of see, like, am I in the middle or not? Let's see, so looks like I need to move it over a little bit. And this is definitely like more than probably most people would do to get it in the middle, but I want it to be closer to the middle than maybe my eye is going to let me do. So we'll see how that ends up when I cut it off now, because it now doesn't look like it's in the middle, of course. It will be good enough. And then I'm just, from the back, I'm just cutting off the excess. And it's gonna give me that nice little, like the rounded plus a straight edge on the side where it looks like it's part of that card, which was part of what I was thinking in my head, like continuing the white up into this other pocket. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that there's enough adhesive on there for that. And I'm thinking about running this through the typewriter too. One of the tips that somebody said the other day, and I was like, duh, was to take, if you're gonna run something like this through the typewriter, to put it on another piece of paper so that you're not having to deal with this part being at the bottom. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just wanna put Anna and Santa on there, so I'm gonna go over there and do that. Okay, I went ahead and ran that through there. I think that that's fine. It's not totally even in the middle, but again, that's typewriter. So I'm gonna stick this guy inside here. Looks like he needs to be trimmed just a little bit along the edge there. Do that, and then I will deal with the extra stuff. Alright, so get that in there, and then I'm going to do some journaling on the wish card. I think then I'm just gonna staple that, the story's heart on there, which I like, you know, that's a repetition of that other one. Thinking, I was gonna look at word phrase stickers again and see if there was any ones that I might want to add on there, or maybe even like a little chipboard heart to this one. Kind of like the idea that there's a little star there. I'm going to add that on there. And I'm just going to staple this in place. Slip that into the pocket. And then I'm gonna write my journaling on the wish card. And then I am going to, I'm gonna add another star so we kind of have these duplicates of these stars on there. And then I think I will cover up this star with one more of these, which I feel like is just kind of a nice repetition of, actually no, that's good enough. But I think on here, I'm gonna staple this one on top. It's kind of a nice textured layer thing there. And then I'm gonna adhere. Oh, I could have also used this heart too. So if you're wanting another heart, or you want a heart over here, this would be another good one, especially if you don't have these, those transparent hearts. Just another idea for that. Let's see. Oh, and it was gonna adhere this on there. That's what I want to do. I'm looking for my adhesive, which is always hiding. For small children, take them away. Okay, so go ahead and move that out of there. So I'm just gonna put adhesive on the back of here because this is gonna get covered up tomorrow with some kind of a photo. Alright, so that will be that page. And then I can put something else on the back tomorrow. And what I need to do next then is just add some journaling here, and then we'll call this one good. And then tomorrow I'll be able to document the holiday, some holiday happiness there. Let's see. Just gonna see. I know that there must be a Santa on one of these. There's Visiting Santa. Let's see. I kind of like the idea of putting one on here that's just like Santa stories. I see that one right there. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my journaling and then I'll pop back on here one more time. All right, so what I decided here for the journaling is what I went and asked her again, and it was actually, she said, I would just like a nice Christmas. And so I loved that. So I just put that of what, you know, what she had said. And then I had this 20 and I decided, I was thinking about hanging it in there, but it just felt like too much. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it over here, and this will just be right behind that 19. So you're still getting a lot of see-through going on the page there. And then I'm gonna put the Visiting Santa over top of the 20 or down below. I think probably right over top there, and call this one Good. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of some sort of a ribbon through the top right here through this hole also. Again, this is a super old, I believe, Making Memories product. Let's see, just gonna get this on here, kind of right in the middle. Lots of different ways to get these stories told. So I'm gonna see, I know I have some twine somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can find that twine and add that on there first before I wrap it up. But that will be, pretty much will be the end of this page, and then we will move on for tomorrow. Okay, here's just a little bit of twine that I think that I will stick through there like this. This is just folded in half, and then you push it through, and then you can loop it from the top, or they push through here. I'll show you, just like this, through the loop, and then it's on the top there. So that's just finishing it off essentially. And before I decide how much I'm gonna cut off of there, I am going to adhere this on here. And I think what I'm gonna do for this is just do a little bit of adhesive right behind on the rubber banner there is what I'm doing, just getting a little bit on there. And that should keep that in place in the pocket. Excuse me, I am starting to get a cold. Of course, it's always what happens around this time of the year. Okay, so then it's kind of centered there and centered here. And I'm gonna let it come up just a little bit out of the top there too. That can either be kind of pushed down in there just a little bit. Another string out of the top. I'm gonna cut it just a little bit more though. Actually, we'll do it two different. All right, that is the look at day 20 in the album.